What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley, and it is time for News in Motion. I see Rosanna Bivens coming in, Jeffrey Allen James, Camille Jones. I see Pastor Alex coming in. I see you, Shirley Nicholson, on YouTube. I see you, Deborah Johnson. What's up, Latrice Jones? I see Kenny Stanley as well. I was trying to make sure I get everyone as they're coming in here. So, good morning to you. Do me a favor, y'all hit that heart or hit that like button so that we can get the algorithm moving this morning. So, come on in the room, people. Come on in the room. I see Misha's coming in here, but she's also in the green room with her brother. You're going to hear from her in just a little while. But, y'all, of course, we got some news we have to get to. Y'all, today is Wednesday, November the 16th, 2022, and it's time for some headline news. And don't forget, we're going to have fun the next couple of days as well. And you want to take some notes because we're going to have some giveaways of George Saunders' book on tomorrow. So if you're participating, we have 3 books we're going to give away. So we're really excited about that as well. Y'all, it is time for News in Motion. Those of you who are tuning in by audio or on podcast, thank you for hanging out with us. I see many of you are enjoying it. Many of you do send in emails or DMs, and we are so grateful for that. Thank you for laughing with us. We had a podcast listener who said the other day that as they were driving in to the office, um, they were listening to the list of the side dishes. And this guy says, I'm a white man. I'm married to a white woman, and we don't eat like that, but sure sounds good. So can we get some recipes? So we sent them over the link for Pure Wild and StaySnatch.com so they can get some of those recipes. I see you, Adrian, coming in from YouTube as well. Latrice Jones said, come through, necklace. Look, I got to do something. I have to do something. So, anyway, it's so good to have people tune in from all over listening to what we have to share right here on News in Motion. And with that, let's go ahead and jump in here and get started. Please remember, today and tomorrow, we're just going to be cutting up a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of news that we have to discuss. Then we're going to have fun. So if you're not wanting to have fun, then this is not the place for you the next 2 days. Then we will be on break all next week, and then we will return on Monday, November the 28th. So stay tuned for what's happening, what will roll out on Monday, November 28th. I see you, Shardinia. I see you, Regina Shorts, Deborah Sneed. Good morning, Tony Morrison Smith. Good morning to all of you. And if you're tuning in or watching a replay later, it could be afternoon or evening. We just want to say thank you for letting us spend a little bit of time with you on this day. So y'all, I told y'all about next week. We will also, so there'll be no broadcast, no replays next week, and we will not be posting on social media unless the former guy is arrested or something like that. And then of course we'll come through for that. I see you, Robert Holman, as well. That's right, Latrice Jones. It's okay to have a little bit of fun. All right, y'all. Speaking of the former guy, it is news. So I'm going to just give you his quote. We all knew it was coming. I told y'all last week he was going to announce on the 15th, and he did. And he says in a quote, in order to make America great again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for president of the United States. And then in this ballroom, I hate to cough behind that, right? In this ballroom, you could see people cheering, whatever. I tuned off, and here's what's amazing. Fox News cut out too. Fox News is fed up. Murdoch and them are saying, we ain't about to support you in this. So y'all, already some stuff is popping off. I see you, Jeff Payne. I see you. Good morning to you. So, y'all, earlier yesterday, his aides filed paperwork with the U.S. Federal Election Commission, setting up a committee called Donald J. Trump for President 2024. So he's really going to do this thing, okay? Please note, after a lot of research and checking out some things, what's up, Hazel Johnson? Checking out some things, y'all. Glover Cleveland is the only U.S. president who has been elected to 2 non-consecutive terms in 1884 and 1892. So good luck, former guy. Good luck, because the fireworks are popping off in the 2 chambers. I told y'all last week. What's up, George Saunders? If y'all missed the link, I did put a link up in the thread yesterday of the broadcast, and I pinned the post of how you can get his book as well. Again, we're going to get 3 copies that we're going to give away tomorrow. Good morning, Stephanie Burbridge Hall. So y'all, can y'all say fireworks in the chambers? It's on and popping. Now, I have to say this. I just have to say this. Didn't I tell y'all it's going to be chaotic? I told y'all this last Wednesday. Here's 1 week ago from last Wednesday. I'm coming back showing y'all exactly what I said, what happened. What's up, Lori Wallace? So y'all, the Washington Post reports the House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy, Republican, California, won his party nominations for Speaker on yesterday with only, though, 188 votes for the GOP caucus, from the GOP caucus. Now, he's passed the simple majority, but he has a long way to go. 31 lawmakers voted for a challenger, which is going to make it real difficult for Kevin McCarthy to come through in January. He needs 218 votes to win the speakership when the 118th Congress convenes in January. Now, it gets messier, y'all. I don't know why I'm excited about this. Senator Rick Scott, Republican from Florida, announced he's challenging Mitch McConnell. That's what he said, y'all, during hour-long closed-door meetings. There was only a few press people allowed to get inside, so I'm giving you a report from the Washington Post. The members, they said the members were frustrated. They were just upset about the failure. They were supposed to be a landslide in both the Senate and the House, and it didn't happen, and the House hasn't been called yet. Now, they're only 1 seat away, but it looks like Katie Porter's going to pull through in California. It's going to make it more chaotic. It's too narrow. 31 people in the House are already fighting Kevin McCarthy. Y'all, it's on and popping. The fireworks are happening. So McConnell was like, whatever, sit down, little boy, just sit down, to Rick Scott. I guess they went at it. They said that Mitch McConnell did not say too much except when things got out of order. People were pointing people were blaming people. I see you, Devontae, good morning to you. People were calling people. They were talking about the insurrectionists. And then Josh Hawley had something to say. Little boy, you was running. I guess they went after him. They were talking about the agenda. Everything was just in disarray. They came out of the meeting after hours long. And this is what Mitch McConnell said. He said, again, I say, I have the votes. And he said it was such a straight voice, face. Listen, Mitch McConnell's like, who's paying for this? Who's bankrolling this? I ain't worried. I'm going to have the vote. So just sit down. People blamed Rick Scott because he put out an agenda from his committee that he chairs, stating that we're going to look at Social Security and we're going to look at taxing the rich. And the Republicans said, what? We don't do that here. You need to sit down. You release the agenda. That's not our agenda. It's just chaotic. Have we ever seen the Republicans in disarray? I haven't. I see you, Dr. Annette. So y'all, let me keep going with this because this is just, y'all know this excites me, right? So in the House, McCarthy faced challenger Andy Briggs. Now, y'all, Andy Briggs is from the Freedom Caucus. The Freedom Caucus, y'all know who they are, right? Yeah. So then Matt Gaetz, y'all remember him, Republican Florida, he came out with a quote to say, to believe that Kevin McCarthy is going to be Speaker, you have to believe that he's going to get the votes in the next 6 weeks that he couldn't get in 6 years. They fighting. He said he didn't believe McCarthy would become Speaker. That's what he said. So then we have another Freedom Caucus member, Representative Bob Good, Republican of Virginia, noted 188 is a long way from 218. He said he ain't getting it. It ain't happening. So y'all understand what's happening here. The former guy made the announcement that he's running again in 2024. And by the way, side note, AG Merrick Garland was like, so AG in Georgia, Fannie Willis was like, I don't care. AG in New York, Leticia James was like, and all of our investigations are still going to continue. You can do what you want to, but we still coming for you. So y'all, what they're trying to do in the House is to set up that, the election votes in 2024, they will get to certify them. Y'all better watch what's happening. Y'all heard it right here on News in Motion. first. Good morning, Karen. All right, y'all. So the two most recent speaker, Pelosi, Democrat California, and Paul Ryan, Republican Wisconsin, they had also faced rebellion initially, but they were only off by 2 votes. Kevin McCarthy is off by 31 votes, by 31. Now, also understand the position that Kevin McCarthy is in. He will have to make concessions with the Freedom Caucus. That's the Marjorie Taylor Greens, that's the Josh Hawleys, that's that group. And then he has to deal with the House most conservative Republicans, which aren't the insurrectionists, but they're the people who really control the purse strings. He also have to contend with the centrists, and then, because of this slim, simple majority, he has to also balance the moderate members who will also make demands. Man, talk about selling your soul. Remember the movie The Firm with Tom Cruise? That's what I kept thinking of when I was reading through all this yesterday. Think about that. I have a question for y'all this morning, and please, those of you who are watching live, put in the chat whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. Answer this question. If you knew that you had to balance all of that and you would possibly have to be selling your soul, would you do it? Would you want it? Yes or no? And why are you answering it that way? As you're putting that in there, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Y'all, on Monday, please answer that question, y'all. But on Monday, dozens of conservative leaders all throughout the United States sent an open letter to Republican members of Congress to urge them to postpone their leadership elections until after December the 6th, the Senate runoff election in Georgia. Mhm. Yep. I'm talking about the people that had the money. These are the people who were giving up what I tell y'all the other day, $88 billion in ads in less than 72 hours. Those are these people. What's up, Kim Edmondson? Y'all, the Republican Party, they say in a quote, part of the letter, and I did read it, the Republican Party needs leaders who will confidently and skillfully present a persuasive, coherent vision of who we are and what we stand for and what we will do. I thought y'all been doing that, right? Thought y'all been doing that. The letter goes on to say, we strongly urge both both houses of Congress to postpone the formal leadership election until after December the 6th runoff in Georgia and all election results are fully decided. At this point, you're ahead of a game and we need you to stop. This is coming from the people with the money who really control them in those seats. Let me be honest with y'all. The letter was signed by 72 conservative leaders, including who? Virginia Jenny Thomas, a lawyer and the wife of the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Also, Matt Schlapp, chairman of the Conservative Political Action Coalition, and who? Mark Meadows, who is the chief of staff in the Trump White House. That's what's happening, y'all. They're in disarray. They're in disarray. This is this even with Clinton and George W. Bush, when they were able to still hold, they had a huge opportunity to do the work that they were doing. This midterm election, it's locked down, y'all. It's locked down. It's chaotic. So remember last Wednesday when I said that this makes a beautiful picture. And if you received my e-newsletter, I talked about it on Monday and I gave some pointers. And with that, leave that up there, Isaiah. And with that, I said that we the people are in control. So let's get ready. Yeah, we the people are in control. And let's not miss this. Let's get through the holidays. But come January, let's be ready. So the answer to my question, Lori Wallace said, no, my soul is worth more than an office or position. Stephanie Burbridge Hall says, no, I must look at myself in the mirror daily. Jacqueline says, no, not selling my soul for folks who are all so backstabbing each other. Yep, Robert Holman says, no, my soul is priceless. Kim Evans says, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And good morning to you, Mary Jenkins. So now, y'all, do y'all finally believe me? Do y'all finally believe what I share with y'all? I told y'all this was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen this quick, but it's happening. All right, y'all, just to breathe from all of that, what's the population of Earth? uh, press release. I said, let me dig into this. And it was very educational. Y'all, there's 8 billion. The United Nations reporting that there's 8 billion on Earth. Latrice says, selling your soul is such a strong phrase. That's what they doing now. Uh, Pastor Angie Shannon said, yep, you called it. I did. Jeff Payne says, yes, I believe you. Says, I'm telling y'all, I'm just wanting to deliver the truth. So, y'all, today the population of Earth will reach the 8 billion milestone. This was actually yesterday. According to the UN projections, it's a result of an epic growth spurt in the last century. There were just 2 billion humans in 1925 and 4 billion as recently as 1974. So we have doubled the numbers in less than 50 years. The 2 billion mark was reached just before the Great Depression in 1925, and it took just 35 years from there to get to the 3rd billion. Since then, the population has been rising by another billion every 10 to 15 years. So, y'all, yeah, we're 8 billion here on Earth. The UN's latest projection released earlier this year suggests that the world will house about 9.7 billion humans come 2050. Thought I'd just throw that out there. Y'all remember that, though, because I may be talking about this tomorrow. Also, just because we're all over the place today, because we're having fun today and tomorrow, y'all, Reuters reported that superstar, my girl, Beyonce, led the field of musicians nominated for Grammy Awards on yesterday. Saying that they calling it a showdown. Reuters is calling it a showdown with Adele, Harry Styles, and others for the top prize album of the year. Now, y'all, Beyonce landed 9 nominations for the highest honor in music that brought her career to a total of 88, tying her with her husband, Jay-Z, as the most nominated artist in Grammy history. Y'all, those are 2 Black people at the top. I don't want y'all to miss that. Her dance heavy album Renaissance. I want to really get into that competition. So Kim Edmondson, when we do the movies on Friday, those of you going to the movies with us, she said it's Friday at Polaris at 4:45 p.m. Get with Kim to get the information. We're going to have a discussion behind that. But I want us to do the competition and post it up on Instagram and TikTok. We got to do the dance. So y'all learn the dance steps. And we got to do the dance because I want us to post that. Anyway, we'll compete for Album of the Year with Adele's 30, Harry's House from Harry Styles, Special from Lizzo, and an entry from ABBA. Yeah, I don't know this stuff, so I'm just telling y'all. Bad Bunny, Mary J. Blige, Brandy, Carlisle, and Coldplay. So we're just really excited to see what's going to happen. I'm just glad she's up there. All right, y'all. So before we even get to Thanksgiving, you got to start thinking about your money and a Christmas tree. Just got to say it. Just got to say it. So y'all, purewow.com is talking about buying your Christmas tree. And they're saying you need to buy it. They said the best time to buy it, whether it's artificial or live, is the weekend after Thanksgiving. So you got to put it together. I'm sharing this with you right now because Christmas trees are in demand. People decide they're throwing their old ones out. They said they picked up a lot of old Christmas trees at the end of 2021, the first part of 2022. They said more Christmas tree live and artificial than they have in, they said, 3 decades. So people got rid of their trees. Okay, so there's going to be an influx of people buying trees this year. Now, the average cost of Christmas trees last year in 2019 was $104. Last year was $131. They believe it will top over $150 this year, live or artificial. So be thinking about that if you want a Christmas tree in your home. So anyway, we're going to get to some other fun. Let me see what y'all saying. Latrice is saying, Isaiah Jones, you're silly. They must be laughing or something at their house. Uh, Latrice Jones says, Angie Shannon, good question. What's her question? Oh, what's the breakdown of regions? The regions of what? I need to know what that is. Oh, Isaiah says Nick Cannon is responsible for 10% of population. There's that. Latrice Jones says a Christmas tree goes up on Christmas Eve. Don't judge me. That's a little late. Why? Why would you do it then? That's a little late. Not unless you like stringing popcorn, singing kumbaya and stuff like that and whatever. Deborah Johnson says, I'm holding on to my tree. Oh, population. That would be good. Thank you. I'm gonna go back and find out for y'all. Not today, but I'm gonna go back and find out. Let me just see if there's anything in this article, but I don't think there is. But I will go back and find that out. That's a great question, Dr. Angie Shannon. I'll find out. I'll go to UN and find out, and I'll get that to you maybe tomorrow. If not, it won't be until November 28th. All right, all right, all right, all right. So y'all been asking. We kind of like moved the meat over to today. We have somebody coming in talking about some vegan stuff and plant-based. So come on in here, Isaiah and Misha, this brother-sister team. They're getting ready to team me up, I see. So Isaiah, through staysnatch.com, this is the Thanksgiving main dish. Can you break down some of what's on that dish before we hear Misha's side?
I got you. So for everyone who's a meat eater on here, some delicious recipes that were reported by StateSnatch.com. You have your Cajun spiced roasted turkey, a southern baked ham with pineapple rings, or you can do easily smothered turkey wings drizzled in brown gravy. Or if you want to do a turkey, some people like to air fry turkey legs and turkey breast, or some people even air fry a honey baked ham.
I like that. I like that. But I thought also on that list, I see how you skipped it, was the baked crab legs with garlic butter.
Mm. See,
You did.
that's a unique Thanksgiving dish. I know some people do spaghetti, and some people even do baby back ribs, but crab legs, no, that's just a no.
Oh, that's a yes. And then also crab legs and lobster tails. Come on
Mm.
now.
Mm. Or you can't forget a juicy pot brisket. You can't
Now
forget
that
that.
sounds good. And some baby back ribs.
Oh, absolutely. Get you, make you a little stew with the brisket, throw you in your potatoes, little chopped up carrot.
Now you talking. What about the Cornish hens?
Can't forget the Cornish hen either, or a stuffed turkey leg with cheesy, creamy mac and cheese.
Oh, say that again one more time, just for my soul.
Stuffed turkey legs loaded with cheesy, creamy mac and cheese.
Oh my God, that sounds good. And I can just see the meat falling off the bones on that turkey leg, all wrapped in that cheese. It make them give you heart palpitations, but all wrapped up in that cheese. That sounds good. And then you got Shirley Nicholson coming and talking about oxtails. My Lord. What's up, Diane Ladybug? Let's see. Dr. Antoinette says yes to seafood on Thanksgiving. There was one Thanksgiving, and my sister, I don't know if she's on here or not, Patricia. She has an allergy to seafood. But that day, I said, "Look, you can roll up to my house because I was hosting, and we fried up some fish. Oh my gosh, it was great." And so I said, "Just come with your Benadryl because we getting ready to throw down." Just the smell of seafood sets her off. But that fried fish was amazing. It just kind of like changed some things up. Lori says, "I'm waiting on Misha." Like, forget the rest of y'all. Latrice says shrimp with cocktail sauce for early grazing. I agree with that. That sounds good. Deborah says black folks know what they are doing too much, that they are doing too much on Thanksgiving. It's amazing. Dr. Antoinette sent me a TikTok. Dr. Antoinette, if you have that, please post it in the chat. She sent me a TikTok where somebody was going through their menu list, and it sounds like us. It's like we don't stop. It's like, is that the only day we eat?
And we don't eat breakfast at all during that day.
Not at all. Now, see, I normally, let's see, you're only 20, so I'll say this. I normally have my mimosa, and then I'll do like a bacon, egg, cheese sandwich because I'm also waiting on the greens as they're finishing, the dressing, the turkey. The house is just smelling like, oh, good. And then I have the Thanksgiving Day parade on also.
Mm.
He's like, whatever. Or we're dancing. We got music in the house and we dancing
Oh
too.
yeah,
So we
yeah.
got that.
My mom loves to throw on her music while she cooks.
Yeah, you gotta
Can't
do that. You gotta do
can't
that.
go
All
wrong
right,
with a
me.
good R&B list.
Gotta infuse the food with the love.
See, we need
Yeah.
the R&B list to go with that. So you're gonna have to put that together. Go ahead, Misha. They saying that you over here silent with your commentary. So let's hear what you gotta say.
Hear ye, all ye non-meat eaters, to all of my plant-friendly friends. Um, There's lots of meat substitutes. So if you are thinking of trying something a little more plant-based, I broke it down into category of what you might assimilate it or associate it with. So if you are looking to substitute chicken, you have cauliflower, which is a great substitute. You can easily batter and fry cauliflower into little florets, or you can make like a cauliflower steak and have like a chicken breast or breast type thing.
Did you say
So
cauliflower steak?
yeah, you can slice it and make a steak.
But how's that gonna give me that juiciness of that
See,
turkey
the
or that brisket?
the trick is that you can use some vegan chicken bouillon. There's actually in the store, it's called Not Chicken Bouillon. And you can just toss it in there with your broth and stuff, add some spices. Now I still use the same spices I used when I was eating meat. So everything has to have salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika. In Jesus' name, if I don't think it's gonna be right. That the same applies when I'm seasoning my tofu. If you're gonna try tofu, I would recommend that you try and press the water out of it, or if you can freeze it the night before and then unthaw it, it gives it a more meaty texture. But that's a pro tip that nobody will really ever tell you.
So freeze it the night before,
Mhm.
and it gives you the texture of chicken.
Yep, it's gonna give it more. So tofu is bland. It's just a blob of soybeans. It's just bland. It's not amazing. So
I'm with you, Isaiah.
so we gotta help it out. It needs a helpmate in Jesus' name. So you gotta, drain the moisture. It's high, it has a lot of moisture content. So you gotta drain the water out of it. And if you freeze it, it's gonna get more texture. I don't know why it works. I haven't done all the scientific research, but it does work. Y'all don't have a heart attack, but there is a meat substitute called seitan. It's not Satan, but seitan.
Thanks for clarifying that, because that don't even sound right. But go ahead.
Y'all stay with me. But it's spelled Seitan. Seitan is vital wheat gluten. There's other versions that you can make if you have a gluten allergy, but that's actually thousands of years old. Monks would eat that as a meat substitute, and it can take on the shape of pretty much anything. Jackfruit is also great. It looks like pulled pork or pulled chicken. If you want some fried chicken, king oyster mushrooms are probably going to be your best bet too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some good stuff. If you like fish and are allergic, I thought about you with your sister. Banana blossoms, also hearts of palm are really good as well.
Okay, so Misha, I gotta ask you this question.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you. We have people on here that's feeling this a little bit. I know Lori is in heaven right now, but let me ask you this question: did you always eat this way? I know your mama didn't always cook like this.
Absolutely not.
What crossed you over? And do you ever like smell the chicken and be like, oh, I want some chicken?
There are times. So the thing I don't get tempted by is pork. So I cut that out about 8 years ago or so. And it was like the Last Supper with Jesus Christ and the disciples, because I told my mom I wanted her to make some apple and cranberry stuffed pork chops. Yes. They're so great. And that was my last pork that I had years ago. And but I don't crave it anymore because the smell of bacon would always choke me when I grew up in the house. But I'm a YouTuber, and so I watch YouTube, and there was a documentary. There was a woman, her family, and they go by LP. Their channel is LP Share or something. But she said that she was watching a documentary, and they said to her, nothing else should have to die so I can live. And that just convicted me so much that normally I'm not convicted. I got tough skin.
Say that again.
Nothing else should have to die so that I can live. And that challenged me in my thinking, and it challenged the relationship that I have with food, because a lot of us, I think, and we're raised this way, that we have to have meat as a protein. And it really challenged me to be more creative, and that's what being vegan has done. I'm not one of those militant vegans that say you have to be this way. Everyone's journey is their own, and everyone's unique. But I can, scientifically, we can all, I think, agree, incorporating a little more plants into our diet, it definitely encourages a more healthy overall lifestyle, and it makes me, I can definitely say, it makes me feel better. It's better for the environment. Producing meat, it takes a lot of water. It takes millions and millions of gallons of water for like one hamburger. So I was convicted. I got beat up on. So.
Okay, so I got to go back to something because I pride myself on paying attention and listening. I think I heard you correctly. Did you say don't be racist with me?
Oh no.
What did you say? Did you say something about race? I thought I heard you say something about race or racist.
Mm-mm.
Okay, maybe then I misunderstood. I was grabbing that and I was like, "Huh, what'd she say?" Okay.
Oh, Mama Shirley. I will be in the house when you cook them, but I'm gonna smell them and sing with you.
I'll eat some, Mama Shirley. I love me some oxtail. Just send him over
So
my way.
Isaiah said, bring him his way. So Misha, I gotta come back to you. Because I'm intrigued here. You got me intrigued. So could a person do both and?
You can. There's different terminology. I've learned something with my position, my new role. There's a thing called flexitarians. Had no idea that even existed. But it's like everyone's path is their own, and the journey to health and wellness is your own. You have to find that. And I think it's a really spiritual journey. So there are people who are vegetarians who don't eat eggs or don't eat milk. You have ovo, the eggs and milk vegetarians. There are people who are pescatarians, flexitarians who do meat only once or twice a year or sparingly. So it's a spectrum, and that's completely okay. I think just if we be more intentional about our eating and about our choices, it'll challenge us. Also, like incorporating vegetables is so fun. You get to be creative. Like being vegan, some stuff I've never tried. Like, wow, I didn't know what this vegetable was, and it tastes pretty good. So.
You sound so excited. Okay, so I have this business mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody on here wants to have a session with you, one-on-one coaching where you will charge them to meet with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, I will give my brother my email to put in the chat, but I have the email, which is my first and last name, 1903 at Gmail. I am available on Facebook, which is my first and last name, Misha Hemphill. I think I'm friends with a decent amount of our viewers here on the Facebook area. You can also, it's flexitarian, pretty good. It's an in between, so not quite vegetarian. It's not as rigid, but you have some flexibility with being vegetarian.
This is just making my head spin.
Stop it.
I was somewhat of a pescatarian for a minute. That lasted for so long. And what happened was, which means I probably wasn't doing it correctly. That was one of the moments where I noticed my hair was thinning. I didn't have enough energy, things like that.
You definitely have to be balanced. Yeah.
Yeah. And my doctor was like, I'm gonna need you to go back and eat some meat. So
yep. And that's the thing too, a lot of people will say, where do you get your protein or B12 or something? B12 is not made by animals, but it's from the stuff that they eat, the animals eat, and then we eat it. So no animal makes it. But taking our vitamins is still something that you have to do, even if you're vegetarian or vegan. Going to the doctor is something you have to still keep up your health. And being vegan doesn't mean you're healthy. So, yeah.
Okay. Isaiah, did you put up her email too, please?
Yeah. 1 second.
So this is good. So let me go, while y'all still here, let's go to the casseroles that I pulled out as well. And this came from purewild.com. These are Thanksgiving casseroles, and these look pretty good. Spicy turkey enchiladas with pumpkin seeds. I thought that sounded really good. Mac and cheese with crispy Parmesan crust was another one. Now here you go, Misha. Broccoli and cauliflower gratin. There you go. So there was a mix, there was a thing in there. Polenta ragu casserole. That's another one. I don't know who Ina is, but Ina Gardens baked spinach and zucchini. That sounded good as a casserole. Spinach and zucchini. Then we have butternut squash lasagna. I thought that sounded good. So I wanted to have a mixture since we were doing this today. I said, I can come over here to Misha's side for a minute. Then we have green cabbage gratin. That sounded good. Isaiah's saying no. Baked pasta with tomatoes and eggplant. Now I'm allergic to eggplant, but shepherd's pie, leek, kale, and goat cheese strata.
That sounds good.
kale and wild rice casserole. That was another one. Now, this is for you, Isaiah. Lemon chicken and rice casserole, if you like lemon chicken. Pastor Angie Shannon said Team Isaiah, excuse me. Now I thought this sounded real good. Now, Misha, this isn't for you. 5-ingredient Italian sausage and kale baked ziti. That sounds real good.
That sounds something mom would eat.
That sounds real good. White pesto spinach lasagna. That's not bad. Broccoli and cheese casserole. But you don't do the cheese though, right? You don't do cheese.
Oh, now wait a minute.
You do the vegan cheese.
Vegan cheese. Now my vegan mac and cheese is exceptional.
It's exceptional. All right.
My
now we're gonna
greens
have
are
a food tasting contest and see if we could tell if it's with meat or without, if it's vegetarian or non-vegetarian.
Yeah.
Now I thought this would sound real good. French onion chicken noodle casserole.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That sounds so good. And then the last one for the casserole, and I thought this was just way too much. They call it the all-in-one Thanksgiving casserole, where you take everything and throw it into one. And people just eat off of it. And they were talking about you can do some like chips or whatever to dip, to grab some of that in there. And I thought about that. If you have all of that together and you're dipping it out, now these are people who can have food touching. There are people who cannot, they don't like food touching each other. So they can't eat that. That must be Isaiah.
Our dad.
No, that is our father.
Our dad does not.
I have my younger sister's like that. Nothing can touch. Nothing can touch. And it's like, and if something touches, she starts all over. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's some good food. Don't do. But no, nothing can touch.
Yes.
And she cleans her fork off after each. I'm like, oh, that's taking too long. That's taking too long.
Yeah.
Shirley Nicholson says, meat slow cooked or smoked overnight and falling off the bones is good. I do make cauliflower mashed potatoes. There's cauliflower mashed potatoes. Lori Wallace says they make vegan cheese honey. Ooh, Lord. Y'all have to be invested into this. Now, here's my other question. Latricia, don't be talking about her husband. Don't do that. Diane Ladybug says, sounds like a parade meal. Deborah sneezes. I'm really interested in trying some of these dishes. There you go, Misha. And there's these dishes. You can go to purewow.com and look in the search bar of their page. Look for Thanksgiving casseroles. It'll pop up. And they had 60. I'm only giving you a few. Lori says over 20 years, no meat strong. So you see how we can have some fun. This is still new. This is new. What news show is not telling you the menu for Thanksgiving? They about to do Thanksgiving. It's the real deal here. But there's so much. I'm gonna see if I can put it in here to you, Deborah Sneed. Let me see if I can get it in here. I'm trying this new system. Let's see if it works. It did. Boom! There you go, Deborah Sneed. It just popped up in there. I'm learning how to. I have a system that I can I can go from one device and copy it to the other device. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is why we always ask y'all, give to NewsInMotion so that we can keep our equipment up to what we need to do with it. So there's that. Thank you, Isaiah and Misha, for hanging out with me today. Misha, we're gonna try. I think they're frozen. Is Misha frozen? They're frozen. I think we lost them. Can y'all still see me? I think we lost them, so I'll take them out. They were frozen. Wow. Okay, so they're still frozen. So they may pop back in here, they may not, but currently they are frozen. So that's what's happening there. So let me give y'all the inspirational message, and then we're out of here. I can actually hear the late Queen say, "It is my duty." So my message today is, it is my duty. It is my duty. Jeremiah 1:12, and they just went out the green room. So when they pop back in, they may come back on screen. Jeremiah 1:12 says, the Lord said to me, you have seen correctly, for I'm watching to see that my word is fulfilled. That I'm watching to see that my word is fulfilled. Y'all, listen, God is watching us. to see if what he has deposited on the inside of us will be fulfilled, that word that he's given to us. And if we really take the time to study, here they're coming back in now. If we really take the time to study and to know his word and to study and be still and to hear what God has to say, he's watching to see that our word is fulfilled. And so my question to you today, what is it going to take for you to not allow anything to stop from seeing God's word fulfilled in you? We all have a plan and a purpose. We all have something that he has spoken specifically to us. Again, and I'm missing the queen a little bit to be able to mimic her every now and then. And all I could hear when I was reading that was her voice, the late queen saying, "It is my duty." So our duty, our responsibility, our purpose, our calling, whatever word you want to put on that. I know there are times where we just want to throw in the towel and we just can't do that. Hester says, I have to set myself apart. Jeff Payne says, speak the word, sis. Listen, when I think about, I'm going to share something with you. Excuse me. I'm going to share something with all of you. Y'all know I'm very transparent. I kept thinking in August that when we came back on September the 7th, that this was myself speaking, that I would take NewsInMotion family to the midterms. And I was looking and saying, that could be our last day, the Wednesday after the midterms. Then I can just shut down NewsInMotion. And I remember just maybe a month ago, praying like, God, I'm getting ready to shut it down. And he said, I didn't tell you to do that. That's not you. I didn't call you to do that. You're going to continue, but you're going to continue in the path that I have set out before you. And God was like, this is your purpose. You pulled everything together. The very thing you have been praying about for years is now all coming. And when I look back through my journals, y'all, I had been planning this out, not knowing what it was going to look like. But there was a word that was spoken to me in 2003. A word spoken to me in 2003. Y'all, this is 2022. And it's all starting to come. And sometimes we get frustrated and we want to say, I quit. Well, when God gives you a word, it's not at all immediate. It comes in pieces. And there are times we get frustrated. But I like the words of the late queen that says, it is my duty. It is my duty. It is my responsibility. It is my purpose. It is my calling to follow that of what God has spoken to me specifically. Hester says, please don't shut down NewsInMotion. You and your messages are so much more than just politics. They really are. And thank you for saying that. So even when we were looking at this, and the team will tell you, I wrestle sometimes, whether it's the advisory team or Isaiah, Kenny, Deb, Lexi, because even though she's high school, she still speaks into it. And then those on the advisory team, and then Christina. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we gotta pivot, as David would say, we have to turn the corner here. But Kim Edmondson, I don't know if she's still on here or not, but Kim Edmondson said, and then I could feel it, Kim, if you're on here, I could feel it. Kim Edmondson said it was 3 Tuesdays ago when I was talking about Black voters and women. And I was so just here. I felt like I was like in your face, to be honest with you. I could feel the boldness and the confidence at a level that I had never felt before. And Kim Edmondson, and I hope I don't misquote her, and I don't know if she's still on here or not, but she says something like, she didn't say you just turned the corner. I think she said this is a pivotal moment for NewsInMotion. And that spoke to me. I believe those were her words. And that spoke to me. And even after that, God said, see, I told you. And so even today with our fun, we need to teach that. Along with that, before I sign off, today. I have more information from the White House. Y'all, I share this because I want to see us at the table. They're looking for apprenticeship. Oh, there's Kim Edmondson. Yes, that's what I said. Okay, thank you. Y'all, Cisco Systems, CompTIA, McDonald's Corporation, Howard Community College, IBM, Island Mountain Development Group, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. I think I got them all. There's some serious cash for apprenticeship. I'm trying to see the date that you have to turn it in. If anyone's interested in this, this is dealing with cyber technology, engineering, things like that. There's trillions of dollars here. Trillion, that's with a T. Y'all, the fact that I embedded and I'm approved to share this type of information with you, let's not sit on it. I told you all about the fellowship. This is the applications here close on January the 6th, 2023. Who else is giving you all this information? So if nothing more, God has me here to give you these things, to give you these things. There's a lot that I'm starting to be trusted with. I can't reveal a particular thing just yet. I had signed a non-disclosure agreement, but I was invited to apply for something from the seat of NewsInMotion. We have to wait to hear back from that. There were a couple other things that's come through, and I'm like, how am I getting these type of credentials? It's because they vet me and fact check me. So I have a responsibility, and I accept that responsibility. It is my duty to deliver this information to you. Now, I can't make y'all get to the table, but I'm starting to side eye some of y'all. Like, come on, you can do this. You can do this. Why aren't you at this table doing this? So, which brings up the membership again. We'll be rolling that out in January. And that will and allow you to the in-depth teaching. We can't do that in the 30 minutes we have here. We're taking this back to 30 minutes, y'all. We can't do this in the 30 minutes that we have here. So we're going to create a table where twice a month for an hour, we will dissect these things and bring specialists to the table to tell us how to get this money and how to go after these things. That's what we're doing. So the membership is going to come out. It's not going to be cheap either. It's a monthly membership. And you're going to have to commit to 6 months of the membership. And I believe that it will be a small group of people. And that is okay. That is okay. Shirley Nicholson says, what are the ages for the apprenticeship? Let me see. I think you have to be college or have or higher. So I want to say it's 18 and higher. I don't see it, but I will get that information and make sure you have it. I will get that, make sure you have it. Thanks for that question. The last thing I want to say before we tomorrow, y'all, we're gonna have fun. Don't forget, we're giving away 3 of George's books tomorrow, and probably some other things too. Mike Nicholson, if you're on here, I still have your T-shirt. My gosh, I still have your T-shirt. But we're gonna give away 3 books. But before we go, again, I'll be celebrating my 31st wedding anniversary with my amazing husband on November the 30th. It'll be 31 years. So far, we have brought in enough to help food for 6 families. Some people have asked, what's the difference between going through us or doing it on your own? You can surely do it on your own. We do it as something we want to do because here's the thing: you need to vet anyone you're giving money to, including me. Vet me, please vet me. And Feeding America, you have to make sure, although they're a great organization, there's a lot of organizations that from the top is operations first. And if you want to pay for operations, then go that way, whether that's Feeding America, the different food banks or whatever. Then there's people, churches, communities, things like that, individual people, where the money go directly to the families. Directly, not the money as in cash, but the cards to a place like Aldi's or Kroger or Harris Teeter or whomever, Walmart, whomever, where the money is then for food to feed the actual family. So even if you were to do feed, Feed, you got operations first. And so we did it this way so that we can get the money directly to the family. So if you want to do that, do that. There are still a lot of families who we had on our list. We are taking care of, so the 6 families of those who send in food, my husband and I are taking care of additional 3 other families. And it's not too late. You can just send that by Cash App. The Cash App is MIM Today. The Cash App is MIM Today. So we're still doing that. So if you want to participate, great. The next thing I want to say, and then we're out of here for the day, but come back tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna have so much fun. But the other thing I want to share with you is that on Tuesday, November the 29th, is what is called Giving Tuesday. As you remember, you have Black Friday on Friday. You have small business Saturday, and then you have Cyber Monday, and then you have Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday are for those who are doing things for the community, teaching, neighborhood. Many of them are 501c3. We will be doing all of ours through our fiduciary agent, which is Making a Difference LLC. I think I have an address in there for Making a Difference. Isaiah, if you would put that up. You could give, you could send a check directly to Making a Difference LLC at 346 and a half North 20th Street, Columbus, Ohio, 43203. Al Edmondson, that's Kim Edmondson's husband, his organization is our fiduciary agent. So if you send checks to him, you will receive a 501c3 tax receipt on Giving Tuesday. Really consider giving to News in Motion on Giving Tuesday. Send that check. That's the best way to get a receipt. That's helping us keep News in Motion at a grassroots level without all the sponsorship corporations. And y'all, trust me, we have had people come to us, but they want to control some of the things that I say. And I said, no. But I must be honest and say, I'm tired of scraping things together to get you all what you need because of lack of budget, because of lack of funds. But I will continue to do it until God tells me otherwise. So consider Giving Tuesday, November the 29th, by giving to that. You will make your check payable to Making a Difference LLC. You will put in the memo section for News in Motion / Gail Dudley. All right, y'all. Until tomorrow, let's get ready to party tomorrow. This is Gail Dudley, your host of News in Motion. Oh, before I go anywhere, y'all, COVID is real and COVID is here. I'm sure you've known by now or have heard by now that there was a Princess Cruise Line with 4,000 passengers. 800 of those passengers started getting sick. And when they started testing, they had COVID. So the ship has since docked in Sydney. And this was a ship not in the United States, but there were some U.S. passengers on that ship and some U.S. passengers that tested positive for COVID. 800 out of 4,000 tested positive for COVID on a cruise ship. So y'all stay well. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask if you have to. Y'all, it's up to you if you want to get boosted, but you can do that as well. And don't forget the flu is out here as well. All right, y'all, until tomorrow, my name is Gail Dudley. Stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.